Hi, I'm Chris. I'm the founder of Foxley Consulting. Our mission is to inspire commercial excellence across teams throughout organisations, not simply to focus on senior people. The purpose of this video is to talk about exploring circumstances and really understanding what people demand and what their particular personal needs are, and use that to create a proposition that is really interesting and really motivating for them. In the last few months, my son has been looking to get himself a internship within a business. He's in the second year of his honours degree, and now he wants to go and spend a year out in industry working with real businesses to learn how they do business and to really augment his studies. But it's a really competitive market, and as part of this process we've spent a lot of time talking to him and exploring what he wants to do, what his motivators are, where he wants to focus and what his future might be. And that got me to start really exploring the idea of the millennial generation and what they really need and demand from employers. I discovered something very interesting. It turns out in a study in the US that millennials are very motivated by job titles. So motivated that they're in fact prepared to accept lower salaries and even take a pay cut to secure a job that has what they would consider to be a job title. Now, when you explore what motivates this, it turns out that they see themselves much more as a personal brand than other generations do. And they have a merging of their social presence and their business presence, and they become this entity. And it's important to them to be successful and to look successful. And for that, a job title becomes very important. It's something that they can use as a badge of honor with their friends and colleagues and peers, that they've got a job which is important. But it's also for them a reflection of how they are viewed by their employer. An employer which is prepared to give them a job title which they value and which they see as important then means to them that they're important within that organisation and they're valued within that organisation. And this is so important to them that there are cases where people have refused to take a job despite a good salary, despite a good package, simply because the job title wasn't acceptable. And if the company was prepared to change the job title, then they were prepared to accept the job. Isn't that fascinating? Because traditionally, the job title was much less important. It was all about the salary, it was all about the package. This is magic if you're an employer. If you're looking to employ people and you're working in a competitive market, you're trying to find the best people to fill your roles, and perhaps in the past you've been priced out by bigger organisations, if you're prepared to think more flexibly about the job titles, perhaps you could attract talent that previously wasn't interested in working with you. What it demonstrates is that despite what you might think, it's what your customer thinks that's really important, how they view your proposition, what's important to them. And how often do people miss those nuances without really asking and spending time? And what I've noticed talking to friends and colleagues in business over the last few months is that the idea of spending time with customers, talking to them, exploring what's important to them, what their needs are, what their motivators are, seems to be going out of fashion. Email is really important to people now. And in fact, phone calls are less and less attractive. People prefer to sit at their desk and send an email and exchange ideas via email rather than even pick up the phone. It's a missed opportunity. You miss all the nuances. All you're really doing is exchanging data. The exciting opportunities sit behind the data, in the preferences, in the nuances, in the motivators. Spend time with people, invest the time in meeting them face to face where possible, and certainly having frequent conversations where you're exchanging more than just information. Explore options and opportunities, because that's where you find value. That's where you understand what's really important to them and how you can tailor propositions and tailor offerings such that you find a way to differentiate yourself from other customers, other suppliers, other competitors. Think about it. Try and spend time with people. To learn more, visit the website foxleyconsulting.com, and there you can install the mobile app and get access to free resources and subscribe to the online modules.